Let us discuss about fat embolism. See, we all of us know what is embolism. Embolism in the sense obstruction of arterioles and capillaries by a mass carried in the circulation. Okay, it is obstruction of capillaries or blood vessels by a mass, and this mass is carried carried from carried in the circulation from somewhere, right? So here the obstruction is mainly by fat. Okay, the embolism is mainly due to fat. The definition is obstruction of capillaries and arterioles, obstruction of capillaries and arterioles by fat globules. Okay, the obstruction is by fat globules. If the obstruction is by fragments of adipose tissue. Okay, if the obstruction is by fragments of adipose tissue, then it is called fat tissue embolism. Okay, fat tissue embolism. Okay, fat embolism means it is obstruction by fat globules. Fat globules. If the obstruction is by fragments of adipose tissue, then it is called fat tissue embolism. Fat tissue embolism. Let us see the pathogenesis of this fat embolism. From where this fat comes and how it obstructs arterioles and capillaries. See, the first, there are mainly 4 theories which explains the pathogenesis of fat embolism. One is mechanical injury. One is mechanical theory. And the second one is emulsion instability theory. Emulsion instability theory. And the third one is intravascular coagulation theory. Intravascular coagulation theory. And the last one is toxic injury theory. Toxic injury. Okay, there are mainly 4 theories which explain the pathogenesis of fat embolism. The very first one is mechanical theory, and the second one is emulsion instability theory. Third one is intravascular coagulation theory, and the last one is toxic injury theory. According to mechanical theory injury, according to this theory, when there is trauma or mechanical injury to the bone or any soft tissues, when there is injury to the or trauma to the bone or soft tissues, what happens is the fat or fluid fat, this will get released into venous circulation, and through circulation it reaches lungs. Mainly it reaches lungs. In the lungs it mainly obstructs. Okay, obstruction of capillaries and arterioles mainly takes place in the lungs. If it bypasses these lungs, then obstruction will take place in other systemic organs also. Okay, this is the very first one, mechanical theory. Okay, this mainly explains when there is trauma to the bone or any soft tissues like breast or something else. So when there is trauma to this, there will be release of fluid fat that results in fat embolism, right? This is about mechanical theory. Then moving to emulsification instability theory. According to this theory, fats are being emulsified. Fats are being emulsified in the blood always, right? So that these fats will remain soluble in the blood. When there is impairment of this emulsification, fat globules will aggregate in the plasma. Okay, fat globules will aggregate. Okay, this results in fat embolism. This is about emulsification instability theory. And the cases in which are the conditions in which we see this emulsification instability theory are: the first one is extensive burns, diabetic mellitus, fatty liver, pancreatitis, sickle cell anemia, decompression sickness, inflammation of bones and soft tissues, extrinsic fat or oils introduced into the body, hyperlipidemia, cardiopulmonary bypass surgery. In all these conditions, there is some impairment in the emulsification which results in fat embolism. Okay. And the third theory is intravascular coagulation theory. According to this theory, when there is intravascular coagulation, or when there is intravascular coagulation, there causes release of some factors. These factors are responsible for aggregation of fats. Okay, aggregation of fat globules, which results in embolism. Okay, this is about intravascular coagulation theory. And the next one is toxic injury theory. According to this theory, when there is hyperlipidemia, or when there is excessive fats in the plasma, what happens is these fats or lipid in the plasma will cause toxic injury to the blood vessels in the lung. Okay, this causes toxic injury to the blood vessels in the lungs. This injury will result in increased permeability of that blood vessels in the lungs. This results in pulmonary edema. This is about toxic injury theory. Then we will move to etiology. Etiology is mainly classified into two types. One is traumatic causes. As I already told you, when there is trauma to the bones or any soft tissues, it results in fat embolism. This is about traumatic causes. Then coming to non-traumatic causes, I told you now, when there is some impairment in the emulsification, it results in fat embolism. All those causes which are in all those conditions in which there is impairment in fat emulsification, all these conditions they come under non-traumatic causes. This includes extensive burns, diabetic mellitus, fatty liver, pancreatitis, sickle cell anemia, decompression sickness, inflammation of bones and soft tissues, extrinsic fat or oils introduced into the body, hyperlipidemia, cardiopulmonary bypass. All these conditions they come under non-traumatic causes.